When Xiaoyan activated the burning technique, the auras of everyone present suddenly came to a halt. Shock instantly surged through their hearts. What kind of cultivation art is this? It can actually draw in the power of flames from space itself. If you enjoy my way of explaining and storytelling, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really motivates me to keep creating. Continuing from before. Upon hearing Xiaoyan's words, Guloshan froze for a brief moment. For an instant, his mind went completely blank. He simply could not comprehend what Xiaoyan was planning to do. But Guloshan was no ordinary cultivator. In the very next breath, his eyes sharpened, and a fierce aura surged from within his body like a rising tide. Two enormous crimson flame wings burst open behind his back, scorching the air as they spread wide. The space around him distorted from the intense heat, as if reality itself were being burned away. In his palm, a cluster of scarlet flames slowly ignited, pulsing like a living heart. Each flicker carried a savage, bloodthirsty aura, as though the flame possessed its own will. This flame ranked 126th on the 100 million flame rankings. A fearsome existence known as the Blood Lotus Red Cloud Flame. Its appearance alone caused the temperature of the battlefield to skyrocket. Guloshan's lips curled into a faint, confident smile. Then he said calmly, his voice echoing through the air, "I'll lend it to you." The moment those words fell, Xiaoyan moved. Without the slightest hesitation, he pushed the spiritual power within his body to its absolute limit. His aura exploded outward, roaring like a raging inferno unleashed from its chains. The ground beneath his feet cracked, unable to withstand the pressure. From all directions, streams of blazing flame chains shot forth, each one burning with terrifying heat. They intertwined in mid-air, weaving together into a vast and intricate flame net, sealing off the surrounding space. In an instant, the flame net closed in and tightly bound the Blood Lotus Red Cloud Flame. Imprisoned by other flames, the Blood Lotus Red Cloud Flame reacted violently. It let out an invisible roar, its fury shaking the air. Waves of crimson fire surged and collided within the net, crashing again and again as it struggled to break free, sending shockwaves rippling through the battlefield. The struggle only made its aura grow more savage. At that moment, Xiaoyan slowly raised his head. His eyes burned with an ancient, unfathomable light. Facing the wildly resisting crimson flame, he opened his mouth, and a voice filled with profound, mysterious fluctuations echoed from his lips, resonating with heaven and earth alike. Heavenly flame summoning decree. The moment the words were spoken, the surrounding flames trembled as if responding to a supreme command from above. To everyone's utter astonishment, under the influence of that mysterious and ancient fluctuation, the Blood Lotus Red Cloud Flame, which had been struggling violently just moments before, gradually calmed down. The furious surging of crimson fire slowed. Its once chaotic aura stabilized, as if it were being gently yet irresistibly suppressed by an invisible will. Xiaoyan's gaze remained cold and unwavering. His fingers moved swiftly, hand seals changing in rapid succession, leaving behind afterimages in the air. Each seal resonated with the surrounding flames, causing them to tremble in response. "Go!" With a sharp shout, Xiaoyan thrust his palm forward. Instantly, the crimson flame transformed into a streak of scarlet light, tearing through the sky like a blazing meteor. It shot straight toward the distant heavenly mark, which had already been battered by Huang Yunpo's blood demon body. At the same time, boom, the heavenly mark erupted with a final surge of power, violently shattering one of the massive arms of Huang Yunpo's blood demon body. Blood-red fragments scattered through the air, dissolving into mist. But the price was heavy. After unleashing that final blow, the heavenly mark dimmed completely its surface, turning dull and lifeless, all traces of its former brilliance vanishing in an instant. It hovered in the air, fragile and on the verge of collapse. Ha ha ha! Seeing this, Huang Yunpo threw his head back and laughed wildly, his voice filled with madness and cruel delight. "So what if I lost a supreme arm? Your death comes next." As his laughter echoed, another colossal arm formed from surging blood energy. Carrying a force capable of shattering the heavens, it descended like a falling mountain, smashing straight toward the already weakened heavenly mark. At that critical moment, a streak of red light ripped across the sky. It arrived in the blink of an eye and slammed directly into the heavenly mark. In an instant, the once dim heavenly mark exploded with dazzling radiance as if a dying star had been reignited. Brilliant crimson light flooded the battlefield, forcing countless experts to shield their eyes. A vast sea of blood-red flames swept outward in all directions, devouring space itself, before rapidly collapsing back inward, condensing with terrifying speed. When the flames converged, the aura that emerged was far more horrifying than before. A suffocating, destructive fluctuation spread from the heavenly mark, rolling across the battlefield like an invisible tsunami. The moment that aura reached him, Huang Yunpo's expression froze solid, the wild laughter still stuck on his face. Break! A low, thunderous shout rang out from Xiao, his voice carrying an authority that seemed to command the very laws of heaven and earth. The heavenly mark, now brimming with terrifying power, surged upward like a divine comet, its radiance tearing through space as it collided head-on with the rapidly descending giant fist. Boom! Before the eyes of countless onlookers, the clash erupted with world-shaking force. The colossal arm of the Supreme trembled violently, fissures spreading across its surface like spiderwebs, and then shattered completely. Blood-red energy exploded outward, scattering in all directions before evaporating into nothingness. After obliterating the blood demon body's remaining arm, the heavenly mark did not weaken in the slightest. Its brilliance remained blinding, its aura fierce and unstoppable, as though its power had only just begun to awaken. Under Huang Yunpo's horrified gaze, the heavenly mark turned, locking onto him like a death sentence. Then it charged forward, violently tearing through the void. Space itself could not endure the impact. With a deafening roar, a vast stretch of space collapsed inward, folding and shattering like fragile glass. At the center of the destruction, the massive blood demon body cracked from head to toe, its enormous form breaking apart piece by piece. In the next instant, the blood demon body shattered completely, dissolving into countless fragments of blood-red light before vanishing into nothingness. The Dharma body was destroyed. Pete! Huang Yunpo's face instantly turned deathly pale as he spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, his aura plummeting like a cliff collapse. The arrogance and madness that once filled his eyes were replaced by shock and disbelief. The battlefield fell into a terrifying, deathly silence. No one spoke. No one dared to breathe. Even Luo Jutian and the others, watching from afar, stared at Xiao as if they were witnessing a legend come to life. Their minds struggled to process what they had just seen. Whether from lingering fear or uncontrollable excitement, Luo Jutian's entire body trembled violently. He had actually severely injured Huang Yunpo. After more than 10 long breaths of absolute silence, a voice shaken, hoarse, and filled with disbelief finally rang out. Then another, and another. As the sound spread across the battlefield, waves of desperate yet burning fighting intent erupted, surging through the supreme experts of the Luo god camp like a wildfire reignited. Huang Yunpo, a terrifying 8th grade supreme, had been wounded by Xiao. That single fact alone brought an unprecedented surge of morale, igniting hope where despair had once reigned. Indeed, was the gap between a 6th grade supreme and an 8th grade supreme really supposed to be this vast? Or had they just witnessed the rise of a monster capable of overturning common sense itself? Suspended in mid-air, Xiaoyan's face had turned deathly pale as he muttered softly to himself. That single attack had contained nearly 10 times the power of the Buddha's wrath flame lotus. Such terrifying might on the Do-Chi continent. It would have been more than enough to instantly annihilate an opponent of the same level, even among Do-Dis. Yet here in the supreme realm of the Great Thousand World, when used against Huang Yunpo, who surpassed him by 2 entire grades, it had managed to inflict nothing more than severe internal injuries. The gap was still there. That strike had completely drained every last shred of power within Xiaoyan's body. His meridians felt empty, his spiritual sea eerily silent, as if his very cultivation had been hollowed out. At that moment, Xiaoyan slowly raised his head. Burning technique, heavenly flame. As his voice faded, a profound and unfathomable fluctuation spread outward from his body, rolling across the heavens like a silent tide. In the blink of an eye, it covered nearly 1,000 miles. Within this vast region, space itself began to shimmer, suffused with faint crimson light. Threads of flame power seeped out from the void as though the world itself were responding to his call. From every direction, countless strands of flame energy converged toward Xiaoyan, flowing into his body like rivers returning to the sea. His completely exhausted aura slowly, steadily began to recover. Ever since Yao Chen had passed the burning technique to him, Xiaoyan had regarded it as the most important cultivation art of his life. It was the foundation of everything. He was the path upon which he had risen step by step. In the beginning, he had believed the technique to be a creation of the Tuoshe ancient emperor. However, within the depths of that ancient inheritance, he had learned the truth. Even Tuoshe himself had obtained the burning technique by chance. That revelation had planted a seed of doubt deep within Xiaoyan's heart. And now, standing within the great thousand world, feeling heaven and earth respond to the burning technique, Xiaoyan could not help but suspect that this supreme cultivation art might have originated from the great thousand world itself, though Xiaoyan himself was not entirely certain. This cultivation art, one that surpassed even heavenly ranked techniques, had now revealed yet another terrifying ability, the restoration of nearly exhausted spiritual power. The moment Xiaoyan activated the burning technique once more, the auras of all beings between heaven and earth seemed to stagnate for a single heartbeat. Even Huang Yunpo, already gravely injured, felt his blood freeze. The battlefield fell deathly still, every gaze locked onto Xiaoyan. Shock surged anew, washing over everyone present like a tidal wave. Impossible. The hoarse cry came from Huang Yunpo himself, disbelief and fear mingling in his voice. This fluctuation, it is neither a spiritual art nor a divine art. It surpasses both. His pupils shrank violently as he stared at Xiaoyan. What kind of cultivation art is this? It can actually draw the power of flames directly from space itself. Nearby, Guloshan stood rooted in place, staring at Xiaoyan as though he were gazing at a monster. A sudden thought flashed through his mind like lightning, and his expression instantly turned even more horrified. In the Great Thousand World, there were only 4 known cultivation techniques capable of attracting flame power from space. The Flame Scripture of the Flame Spirit Clan, the Pill Flame Codex of the Pill God Clan, the Living Flame Art of the ancient 10,000 Grass Plains, and the Boundless Flame Absorption Method of the Heavenly Flame 10,000 Domains. Each of these techniques was a supreme inheritance, guarded as an ancestral treasure by forces that dominated entire regions. Guloshan swallowed hard. His lips trembled as he murmured softly, almost to himself. This fluctuation, it resembles the Flame Spirit Clan's Flame Scripture. A chill ran down his spine. But how could Xiaoyan possibly possess the Flame Spirit Clan's ancestral technique? The question echoed in his mind, heavy, ominous, and filled with an unspoken dread. Among everyone present, only Guluoshan was able to sense the anomaly hidden within Xiaoyan's cultivation art. As for the others, including Luo Jiutian and even the gravely injured Huang Yunpo, they noticed nothing out of the ordinary. All they could perceive was Xiaoyan's aura steadily recovering without understanding why. Xiaoyan paid no attention to their gazes. His expression was solemn, focused to the extreme as he pushed the burning technique to its absolute limit, desperately restoring the spiritual power that had been completely drained from his body. Only after stepping into the realm of a Dodi did Xiaoyan truly begin to comprehend the terrifying depth of the burning technique. This was not merely a cultivation art. The burning technique was an existence that allowed its cultivator to devour every flame element between heaven and earth. As long as flame power existed, It could be seized, refined, and transformed into strength. No flame was exempt. Even the heavenly flame summoning decree was not a gift left behind in Tuoshi's inheritance. Instead, it was something Xiaoyan had obtained only after fully grasping the true essence of the burning technique. The more he understood, the more Xiaoyan felt an uncontrollable curiosity rising in his heart. Who had created such a heaven-defying cultivation art? What kind of peerless existence could forge a technique capable of commanding all flames of heaven and earth? At this moment, Xiaoyan finally understood. The burning technique itself was the true supreme flame summoning decree. High above the battlefield, Huang Yunpo stared fixedly at Xiaoyan. Madness and ferocity flickered wildly in his eyes. Suddenly, a violent surge of blood energy erupted from Huang Yunpo's body, roaring outward like a flood breaking through a dam. His form expanded abruptly, muscles bulging as crimson runes crawled across his skin. The space around him twisted under the pressure. His aura, which had moments ago been severely weakened, began to skyrocket at a terrifying speed. "What is this?" Luo Jutian's expression changed drastically, shock flooding his face as he turned toward Huang Yunpo. In an extremely short span of time, Huang Yunpo's aura had recovered to its peak. And even more frightening, it was still rising, unrestrained, unending, as if something monstrous had been awakened. A suffocating pressure descended once more upon the battlefield, signaling that the true battle was far from over. That's all for today's content. See you in the next part. Support me by becoming a member. It will give me more motivation. Thank you so much.